What is going on, Headliner Nation? Hopefully everyone's doing well out there. Welcome to the Week 14 Tailgate Show. That's right, for a lot of people, the fantasy football regular season ends this week and we head into the fantasy playoffs. But just like we always do in this show, we got some end of the week news, some weather updates. How about a reminder of the items we're giving away thanks to our friends over at Pristine Auction? Plus, me and the Doc got together for more Show Us Your Teams. I know a lot of people care about the Show Us Your Teams, so I'll try to get to it here as fast as I possibly can. And then we got some of Max Friday flyers at the end of the show. Whatever you're looking for, there are timestamps down below in the description. But let's go ahead and kick it off here with some end of the week news. Up first, it's the return of Justin Jefferson. Everybody is super pumped about it. A lot of people kind of want to overthink it, but you got to remember, this isn't the same Minnesota Vikings offense that he left pre-injury. It's a new quarterback with Josh Dobbs. How does Josh Dobbs manage this offense with multiple high-profile weapons? We still got Jordan Addison. We still got TJ Hawkinson, and we've really never seen Josh Dobbs supply that many high-end options in the same offense. Now, obviously, if Justin Jefferson is healthy like he is now, he's in your fantasy football lineups. There's no question about that. What about Geno Smith? I talked to the Doc, and there's real concern that Geno could miss here this week. I know a lot of people really out there aren't reliant on Geno Smith being their fantasy quarterback, but remember, he's tied to the likes of DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, JSN. If we do not have Geno Smith, the ceilings of all of those players are going to come crashing down. So that's definitely something to pay attention to as well. How about Isaiah Pacheco? So much for a shoulder contusion. He's already been ruled out, and now they're kind of contemplating whether or not he goes on the IR or not. You got to remember that Isaiah Pacheco has dealt with shoulder injuries in the past. He actually had surgery this offseason for a shoulder injury. So we really have no idea, but what we do know is, once again, the stars are aligning for Jerick McKinnon to go the hell off at the end of a season like he just seems to do every single year. Now, right now, reports are coming out that CEH is going to be the guy. Okay, I understand that maybe he starts the game, maybe he gets more touches there on the ground, but Jerick McKinnon, time after time after time, has proven to be looked at by Patrick Mahomes in this offense in critical games down the stretch. Now, I'm not going to look at CEH or McKinnon as both absolute must-starts at all here this week, but if I had to choose one, I'm sorry, I'm still leaning towards Jerick McKinnon. How about Puka? Puka Nacua is off the injury report, a difficult matchup going up against Baltimore, but at least he's going into it healthy. That's a great thing. Also healthy, Dallas Goedert, or Godare if you're feeling fancy right now. He's a full go, should be back in the lineup as well. Now, obviously, like we've talked in the past, when Dallas Goedert and Devontae Smith are both in this lineup, Devontae Smith has a tendency to struggle here just a little bit. But we kind of accounted for that in our rankings here this week. He still has crazy upside in a matchup that Philadelphia needs to go out and win. How about a couple of injuries? And you guys already know about this, but I want to make sure I let you know once again. Christian Kirk on IR, Tank Dell, same thing. Both these guys in normal redraft leagues can be dropped. We're seeing a lot of questions on whether or not you should hold on to them. No, they're not going to be fantasy viable for us here anymore this year. But really, outside of that, we've covered almost everything. Like I said, almost everybody is injured or on an injury report right now. So how about some weather updates? We got two games we're really paying attention to here in Week 14. The first one, it's the Rams and the Ravens. And this game right here has a 100% chance of precipitation during this ball game. The ball's going to be wet. It's going to be rainy. It's not going to be ideal conditions. So with that being the case, you have to look at guys like Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, Odell Beckham, Zay Flowers. Their overall ceilings are going to come down a lot, and you got to admit that there's going to be a lot of risk with those guys playing in the rainy conditions. Now, are they automatic must-sit guys? No, but really depending on how my lineup looks, if that's a lot of added risk, I may look at other options on my bench, just something to pay attention to. But then we also have a second game we need to pay attention to. It's the Texans and the Jets. I know a lot of CJ Stroud owners out there want to use some CJ Stroud, some Nico Collins, maybe even some Noah Brown. There is a 90% chance of rain in that ball game, and it could definitely play a part in the passing game. It's another one of those contests we need to pay close attention to here heading in to the weekend. It's the weather. The weather can change day to day, so be sure to stay on top of it and check it there Sunday morning. All right, now how about a reminder of the items we're giving away in our Pristine auction giveaways here this week. We have a lot of giveaways going on right now, so be sure you're paying attention. The first one up was in Kyle's start-sit video for running backs. We have a signed mini helmet right here of Saquon Barkley. I know a lot of people are going to want to get in on this giveaway. This is the running back start and sit video for Week 14. It's on our channel right now. If you're interested, head over to that video, like it, leave a comment down below, and then be sure to have your free account signed up at Pristine Auction. We also got, in my wide receiver start sit video, a signed Brandon Ayuk mini helmet that we're giving away here this week as well. Same thing goes for this as it does for the Saquon mini helmet. Head over to my wide receiver start and sit video in week 14, hit the like button, leave a comment down below, let me know that you're interested, and you'll be entered into that giveaway as well, as long as you have your Pristine Auction account signed up there. But then we also have a third item, and this one right here is going up until the week of Christmas. And how you get in on this item, we have a signed Justin Herbert Funko Pop. I'm trying to get the glare off of it here. This thing is sweet right here with the yellow ink, signed by Justin Herbert. In order to get in on this giveaway, it's a little bit different. You still got to have your account signed up at Pristine Auction, but you don't have to go like a certain video. I want to know what you guys are getting for Christmas out there. I'm looking for screenshots. I don't want your personal information. I want to know what items you're getting and what kind of prices are you getting them for, because there's a lot of great deals right now over at pristineauction.com. I've already gotten quite a few emails from some people. People are out there getting autographed jerseys for like $40. That is absolutely crazy. And with the holiday season right around the corner, I'm sure you can cross off a few Christmas gifts right there at pristineauction.com. Now, I know I've said this in the past, but I'm going to say it again. We don't make anything from pristineauction.com. They don't pay us to do any advertising. The only thing that they do is they send us items like this to give away to you, the community. So if you're looking for more items year after year after year, that's why we need people to head over to pristineauction.com, sign up for that free account using the referral code headliners when you do so. I'm being upfront and honest with you. The more people that go and sign up for the account, the more people that are out there bidding and winning on auctions, the more things they're going to send us just to give away for free to you. So be sure you get in on all these giveaways here in the next month or so. We got a lot of things to give away, so be sure to stay tuned. Speaking of staying tuned, now is the time that a lot of people have been waiting for. Me and the Doc got together once again for the next installment of Show Us Your Teams. What is going on, Headliner Nation? Welcome back to another edition of Show Us Your Teams here. It's week 14. The fantasy playoffs are right around the corner, and I figured this would be a good time to take a look at what people got going on with their teams out there.
Yo, let me see them
eams. That's right. Well, we got a few teams we're going to go through here. We're going to give them a quick critique. We're going to give them a grade. We're probably going to make fun of some handwriting, maybe some artwork, whatever it is that comes up. That's what's going to be happening here in the next few minutes. But Ethan, are you ready to dive into the first team?
Dude, I'm always ready to dive in.
Okay,
Jake.
Well, here's a little bit of backstory on this one. This one is from TJ. Now, TJ has been a member of this channel for a long time. He's hung out with us on the weekends before when we've gone to Canton, Ohio. He played football with us on the field in Canton. And then he submitted this team this week, so you better believe we're going to let him have it, Ethan. It's Silence of the Lambs. He's 8-5. Right off the bat, I see the artwork. And
dude,
honestly, the first thing that I see is it looks like I have a cow hoof for a right hand. Like I don't exactly know what's going on there. I also may have some kind of like issue with my face. Not entirely certain. You look like a version of Teen Wolf.
I look terrifying. One, it's clearly us though.
Clearly us, 100%. Like it's close enough.
Honestly, what does that say about how ugly we are? Because like, it's not a pretty drawing, but we were both immediately like, yep, that's us.
That's totally
like,
us. Yeah.
Yikes.
That's pretty bad.
That's pretty bad.
I hadn't thought of it that way, and now you've totally ruined my day.
And I'm sorry, but it's true. Like, that's clearly us, and we're hideous. Yikes.
What do you think?
At least you got a hat.
But I only got one arm. I only got one arm.
Put hair on me, which...
I mean, I don't have a whole lot of hair, so you couldn't include it anyway, but I want to know where the heck my left arm is at.
Dude, your left arm has just been absorbed into you. It's almost
like my face
one hand behind your back.
Yeah.
It's like,
maybe that's it. Probably not.
Is that what it is?
Let's look at the damn team. Let's see if he's got a decent team here.
Yeah, of course.
His quarterback, he's got Tua. No issues with Tua. No. How about Lamb? Allen. Love that. Henry, Bijan, McBride, Collins, Aubrey, and the Steelers defense. Well, all of a sudden, a little bit crazy that the New England Patriots decided to play some football this week, so that probably didn't quite work out too well. But
well, the Steelers are never going to kill you.
Right.
That's the key.
They're never going to help you much either. He also has a note up here at the top. Week 8 traded Kamara for Bijan.
Okay.
Don't hate that. On the bench, we got Stevenson, RIP. Warren. Is that
It's Godwin, but it looks like Lodwin.
Or it looks like lock in.
Oh, yeah.
Lock
I could see.
Lock it in.
It's Godwin.
It's Godwin. It's definitely Godwin. Singletary. I think that's Howell, JSN, and balls to the Waller, Darren Waller on his bench. So he's got some injuries he's working through. But overall, his starting lineup, pretty freaking good, right? I mean, it's pretty freaking good. I'm a little bit worried about Nico Collins this week. Hopefully, with no Tank Dell, he can kind of absorb that difficult matchup going up against Sauce. But outside of that, I love this team.
Yeah, this is a pretty good squad.
The team's better than the drawing, 100%.
Well,
no, not so much.
That's pretty true. Okay, Jake, I'll be honest. I don't know why this guy's name popped in my head because he hasn't been fantasy relevant for probably 3 years.
Okay.
When I saw Collins, I immediately thought of
Alex Collins. It's because we're old school, Ethan.
Dude, how old am I? Oh my gosh.
Not
and then
Alex
you said
Collins.
Nico, and I was like, yeah, of course it's Nico. Of
course it's Nico.
Totally what I thought when I read it the first time.
Yeah, definitely not Alex Collins. That would make this team suck.
Yeah. And I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking that. No, the team's really good. I'm surprised he's 8-5, honestly.
I am a little bit too, because I mean, Tua's had solid
bad
weeks,
luck, you know.
But Lamb and Allen alone should have been carrying him for the last 6-8 weeks.
Yeah, I mean they've been pretty stacked. And you're just kind of hoping for the rest of them. I mean, I guess I don't know. Maybe he's making some bad sit decisions, but I wouldn't think that it would be that. There's not a lot of like decisions really on this squad outside of maybe the flex. But going forward, I'm feeling good.
I'm feeling real good. All right, now with the drawing, the team name, the overall presentation, Ethan, what kind of score are you giving TJ?
I'm gonna go with an A-. I think this is a team that could win a championship. It needs some good, luck in terms of all these guys hitting kind of in the same few weeks. Here, we needed some consistency from this squad, especially Bijan and Henry. If we can get consistency from those two guys, we're feeling pretty good.
All right. Well, I mean, I want to be right there with you and give you an A-, but I've also seen this guy eat a brat in 2 bites. It was disturbing. So, I mean, I got to drop him. I got to drop him down a little bit there. So I'm going to go with a solid B+ just for that, because I still have nightmares, Ethan. All right, let's move on here. The next one we have is from Hilda Trevino, another longtime subscriber here of the channel. She has submitted radioactive mutts. And I mean, I like the drawing. Even Ian got the actual radioactive mutt on the paper.
You know what this reminds me of, Jack?
What?
This looks like a team that I would have made in NFL Street back in the day. They had all the weird logos. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Did you play NFL Street? The greatest football game that's ever been released by the NFL. I won't take any arguments for that. NFL Street used to have really random logos. You could like make your own team and you could put logo. Like this looks like a logo and a team name that I would have made as like a 7th grader playing NFL Street on the Nintendo game.
So you're basically telling Hilda that she's a 7th grader right here.
Listen, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying like that's what it reminded me of, because they had like goofy logos too. But the logo is actually incredible. Like, do you see that it's like clearly got some weird eyes?
Oh yeah.
Did you look at that as like an eye with an eye on top of it, like multiple sets of eyes? Or did you look at it as like just a really weird looking, like she tried to get both eyes?
Okay. Like after you say that, like I can see how it's like one on top of the other and like one's on his cheek. Right. But,
you were looking at it like it was both eyes.
Yeah.
Weren't you?
But then once you said, now I can't unsee it, Ethan. I can't. You know what else I can't unsee on this paper?
What?
I got to call her out on it. I got to. Hilda, nothing but love. But did she forget how to spell her name at the top? She had to put a arrow up to add an N in.
No, I think her name is like Inyo, like Spanish Inyo.
So you're thinking that's one of the accents?
Maybe.
To me, I read it as an arrow. Like I forgot the N. Let me insert the N.
But the arrow is even with the letters. Why would she do that? I think it's in like with a little squiggly. You know, like Inyo, like Nino.
Okay, I mean that would make total sense.
Like
it's just
Espanol.
Okay. Let's give her the benefit of the doubt, Ethan. We're gonna go ahead and run with that. Anyway, she's 9-4. If
that's the case, I've never known that that's how she says it, but
I've always just said Trevino.
Yeah, Trevino. Yeah,
I've literally probably read her name out loud, I don't know, 50 times in my life, just due to comments on videos and stuff for years.
Yeah.
I've never.
She's never corrected us.
She's never
Not
correct.
one time.
But I don't know if I've ever said her name out loud in a show for her to. Anyway, tangent over. 9-4, first place team. It's a 10-team league.
Okay.
We got Jared Goff, Mike Evans, Amon-Ra, Justin Jefferson back now as well. Holy crap. Rashad White, Devon Chan, Sam Laporta, Puka, McManus, the Bucs defense. On the bench, we got Singletary, Gibbs, Fields, McBride, and Cook. Wow.
Good Lord.
Ruled out. Obviously, we know about Tank Dell. She's got the hashtag Headliner Nations. Go Texans with a sad face. And there's something written beside it, but I can't.
Yeah, I think those are just tears. I think those are just tears falling coming down.
I mean, the Texans are way better than anybody expected them to be, though. Yeah. Right? I mean, I
think that's sad. She's sad because of Tank Dell.
Okay.
She's a Texans fan. That kind of makes sense.
We'll go with that. Anyway, back to the team. Holy freaking stackness.
Yeah.
I'm going to start calling her Stackness Everdeen is what I'm going to start doing here.
Yeah.
I don't know how you can get much better than this. I mean, honestly.
This is one of those teams that probably only lost because of injuries. You know, like you got a Chan out, you got Jefferson out.
Yep.
Probably like drafted / picked up off waivers. I'm sure some of these guys probably should be like 11-2.
Probably.
Like no reason that this team should have been losing very many games outside of the injuries.
Right. Now,
being what do you think about Fields versus Goff?
That's what I was just going to say. Being that there's so much firepower, do we take a little bit of a risk and say, let's go Fields for the kill? You know what I mean?
I think that.
I mean, they're playing each other.
Yeah, I don't mind either guy. Goff has played really well this year.
Goff, I say in my videos every week, he's like a locked and loaded first top 12 guy every week. I mean, he's
only thing I would say is I do like the Amon-Ra Goff stack for just maximum upside. Because the stack's there, it's kind of even for me. So it's really whoever you want to vote. Whoever we want to root for, I guess, for your team.
What about Puka? Any consideration of Gibbs over Puka?
I kind of thought about it. I even considered Gibbs over White.
Okay.
But White's been, White's kind of one of those guys that I feel like me and Kyle are both like, we don't know if he's that good, but he keeps making big plays. So I guess he must be better than we think.
Right. I mean, they got difficult matchups, both of them.
Yeah. I'm okay with diversifying a little bit because she's already got Goff and St. Brown going.
Okay. You don't want to go heavy lion is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I don't entirely disagree.
And she's got Laporta going too. So
there's
4 starters. I mean,
she got the whole damn pride in her lineup right now. That's an entire pack of lions. All right. So anyway, total presentation, total team. I have a feeling we're going to give this a high score, Ethan.
This is an A for me.
That's 100%
by far. I don't see any way this team loses, barring an incredible. Actually, I take that back. I see one way that this team loses in the playoffs, Jake.
What's that?
That is
the starters get rested.
A bad Lions game.
That's true.
I think really puts her at risk. So, for that sake, if they're playing it, I'm not really worried about this week. I don't know their schedule off the top of my head. If you get a week where they're playing somebody that's pretty stout on defense, I might be throwing Fields in just to diversify that a little.
And you still have McBride that you can put in for Laporta if you wanted to as well in a good matchup.
Yeah.
I mean, I like it.
This is a good team.
It's a really good team, especially when she had
guys that we talked about a lot of guys that we talked about in the offseason.
She listens
on this team.
Solid A. Way to go, Hilda. All right, next one up. Here we go.
Great work.
John Jensen. Love the Twitter name here at Rugby Noodles.
Rugby Noodles
has drawn a great logo.
Ethan. Big logo.
I mean, it's a big one. That's what she said. But I mean, he did pretty damn good. I couldn't do that. That's way better than TJ's picture of you and me.
Yes.
Not saying, just saying.
That's not really saying much.
Not saying a whole lot. Okay, not saying a whole lot. I like how he even listed himself as a manager down here.
Yeah.
League-esque, I'm guessing is the team name. Got 10 team, full point PPR. No, what?
I don't think so.
What?
Well, why? What would you say Zay Top is?
Oh, and maybe I hadn't gotten that far. Damn, chill.
All
right.
Dude, I'm sorry. You just said it was the team name. I don't want people being like, that's not the team name.
I'm just guessing. Anyway, 4th seed, 7-6 record. Second in, I'm guessing that says PF for points for, and then third in points against.
Look on your defense.
Yeah, defense struggling. Zay Top. All right, yeah, I would agree that is probably the team name. He's also put a picture of a cute baby in his profile picture, so there's no way we can give it a bad score now. Way to go, John. You've
How do we know which one's John? Could be the baby's team.
Maybe the baby made this team. Let's find out. We got Jalen Hurts, Austin Eckler, Ezekiel Elliott. Great start this week for Zeke. CeeDee Lamb, misspelled by the way, definitely a baby move. Justin Jefferson, Noah Brown, Dallas Goedert, Jalen Warren, the Ravens, and Aubrey. On the bench, it's cut off down here. I got CJ Stroud, Kenneth Walker, Zach hey, Jordan Addison, Zay Flowers, Romeo Dobbs, Chris Godwin, and Trey McBride. What do you think of the team, Ethan?
Okay, well, it's too late, but you should have had Warren out of your flex.
Facts.
First. I know
hindsight is 2020, though.
I hate that. Every year we remind people of that. It's literally my least favorite fantasy advice that I give because honestly, I don't really think it matters a whole lot, but it technically is the right thing to do. I'm not sure I love Noah Brown as your wide receiver 3.
Would you go Zay Flowers over him?
Probably.
Would you go Jordan Addison? I'm a little bit worried about Addison because of the return of Justin Jefferson, and I don't know.
Well, and he's already got Jefferson in the lineup too.
Oh yeah, so we don't want to do that.
I don't really want to do that.
How about give me the doobie doos, Romeo Dobbs?
I don't mind it because I don't think Christian Watson's playing this week.
Exactly.
So
I think Dobbs probably safer than Noah Brown.
Yeah.
But and this is a huge if Noah Brown is fully healthy and he slots back into a similar role that he had midseason with both Tank and Nico were struggling with some injuries, Noah Brown was putting up huge games.
Yeah. And I don't think the team's full of because you've already got Zeke putting up a solid number for you.
Right.
I don't mind shooting for the fences with your wide receiver 3, I guess. I'm not saying it's probably the safest choice, but given what we already know about what this team's done, I don't hate it.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with that. Does suck that Jalen Warren kind of did start off the week a little bit slow for sure. A lot of worry around Austin Eckler. Now they're coming out saying they could take away some of his touches. It's because Brandon Staley's an idiot and he'd rather take touches away from one of the best running backs in football instead of finding creative ways to get him the ball in space. But that's just another story. Overall, solid team. The 7-6 record, I can definitely see the 7-6 record on this team just due to the injuries that they've suffered and had to deal with. Dallas Goedert has been injured. Noah Brown has been injured. Justin Jefferson has been injured. Zeke hasn't really been hardly anything. Austin Eckler has underperformed many weeks. Kenneth Walker, Zach Charbonnet, injuries. I mean, there's a lot here on this team that he's had to deal with, but being the 4th seed still, got a shot at the playoffs.
Yeah.
And the only thing we're thinking of, if we wanted to be safer, was swapping out Noah Brown. But if it's my team, I'm shooting for the fences. I'm going Noah Brown.
I would also say, Jake.
Yeah.
I'm probably throwing Trey McBride in over Dallas Goedert.
Okay.
Just McBride.
If you're going to gamble on the wide receiver,
has been the tight end 1 for the last month.
Yeah. If you're going to gamble on your wide receiver 3, play a little bit safer.
Coming off an injury.
Yeah, I can see that.
I'd probably throw McBride in at the tight end spot, and then I'm rolling with this squad. I'm feeling good. Yeah. I'm not feeling great. So I'm going to go with a B.
Well, you know why McBride's not in? He's on bye this week, Ethan.
Oh, that's right. I'm an idiot, Jake. Yeah. Don't mind me.
I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, why doesn't
going forward, though, I'm probably going with McBride.
Yeah, McBride's on bye, so he's not going to play this week.
Gosh, I'm so dumb.
It's okay. You have
14 weeks in. Clearly, I'm losing it.
That's okay. What about entire presentation here? What are you giving the team?
Entire presentation. Love the big block letters. They're even. They're looking good. The logo. It's a good logo.
It's a good
pretty
logo.
Solid. It doesn't look like he traced it. That's always something I'm keeping an eye on. Maybe.
I don't think so. Not with that paper.
I don't think so.
What would you have of ours that's that big to trace?
I mean, he could have put like a sticker. I don't know.
John's got a baby to take care of. He ain't got time to do that.
John, I'm surprised John got time to do those block letters.
Yeah.
I'm going with a B here. I think the team is good. It needs a little bit. We're hoping Justin Jefferson coming back pushes this lead. Second in points for is good, considering the fact that he hasn't had Jefferson for at least last 10 weeks. So I'm going to say there's a chance. So I'm going to go B.
Perfect.
Possibly closer to B plus.
Okay. Yeah, I would say with Justin Jefferson coming back, we're right around there, a B plus. All right. Next one. I had to include this one. I'm gonna warn everybody ahead of time. You may not be able to read it, but we couldn't not include this because Zach Havoc sent in his team while on the job, and it looks like he's operating some sort of heavy machinery, Ethan.
Some type of equipment.
Yeah, there's some heavy equipment somewhere, and Zach's like, hold that thought. I got to write my team down here. Looks like we got some WD-40 or something there in the background.
Definitely some WD-40 back there.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely supposed to be working.
This is a man doing some hard work.
Yeah, Jake. I mean, he's out there working hard. But
he's like, you know what? Let me throw out my handy dandy notebook.
Yeah. I like Blue's Clues. Is that what you call them?
Blue's Clues.
Yeah.
And I'm going to write this team down. And
you know why, though?
Better be giving me a good grade.
And right off the top, the biggest thing I see is 11-1. So he's damn dominating right now. Okay. So it's got to be a good game, a good team.
Really confident in himself. We'll probably lose this week.
We'll probably lose this. It never fails, right? When you go out there and talk about your amazing win-loss record, you're probably going to lose. All right. We got the Bang Bang Niner gang, who's in first place, 11-1. Lost Burrow, so he's starting Minshew. At running back, CMC and Eckler. Wide receiver, Keenan Allen, Brandon Ayuk. Tight end is Trey McBride, so he's going to have another tight end here. Then we got Kamara, Myers, and the Jags, who he's streaming. And then Achan, Cook, Singletary, Nico, Ridley, and the Bills on the bench. So there is no other tight end on this team. I'm going to go back to my Twitter here real quick while you want to look at this team, Ethan. I'm going to see if he had any comments about...
Okay. Well, first off, don't carry two defenses if you're not going to start a tight end. Go pick up anybody for the tight end spot. I don't know if I necessarily have a streamer that I really love this week, Jake. You got anybody off the top of your mind that you're thinking?
Would have been great to stream Hunter Henry, but that's too late to have happen.
Yeah.
You know what? Let me see if I can go look here. Let me see who may be available.
Yeah. Take a look at that. Overall, man, this is just a ton of value across the board. I mean, your problem is your team's so good you can't play them all.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
that's true.
Nico Collins probably should be in the lineup somewhere. I don't know if I'd put him in over Keenan Allen or Ayuk. Same thing with Devon Achane. Nobody's going in over CMC. I think you can make an argument for Achane over Eckler.
You can make that argument.
I think that especially the way that he's been playing the last 2 or 3 weeks and the way that their offense has looked, I'm probably throwing Achane in over Eckler. Especially with I think he thinks he's going to lose. So he might be projected to lose this week. Dude, take a shot, man. Yeah. Achane is unbelievable. I'm probably throwing him in. I'm okay with the wide receivers. Flex, Kamara, I'm all right with that. We'll see what happens. If Jameis is starting, would you rather have Kamara or Cook? Or Collins?
I mean, I got to think if it's Jameis that they want to throw the ball down the field more.
I feel like I might consider putting Nico Collins in there at the flex.
See, Nico worries me, though, because he's got to deal with Sauce Gardner.
Yeah, but we said the same thing about Pat Surtain last week, and look at what happened. Pat Surtain got immediately hurt.
Well, yeah, that's exactly right.
You're right, but I'd consider it. And if you really want to, I guess you could still leave him in. I think it'll be okay. I don't love it. I don't think Kendre Miller's coming back this week. So, all
right, let me throw out some names here for some potential streamers. Ethan, let me know if any of these, catch your eye here or your ear. Yeah. Not a lot, right? I mean, I don't know who it's all. Cole Kmet, maybe in some leagues.
I'd be all right with Kmet.
I would too. I mean, he's probably a little bit more higher owned, but if he's out there, I don't hate it. We know Dalton Schultz is still hurt. Brevin Jordan's been decent as of late in an offense that's going to need some pass catchers. Chigioko in Tennessee.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, this may sound crazy. I don't know about your league, but there's a lot of leagues out there where Kyle Pitts is available because nobody wants to deal with his crap because he sucks balls, but he's got a good matchup. Kylan Granson of Indianapolis, maybe. I mean, I don't love it, but I mean, we're trying to find guys that are going to be available, right?
Maybe, what about Juwan Johnson?
Juwan Johnson, Tyler Conklin, maybe.
Yeah, Conklin, not a bad choice.
I'm looking Conklin, Juwan Johnson, something like that. Trying to find somebody who can just get some damn targets for you here. This week.
I have seen, and I can't believe that this is the case, but I have seen Dallas Goedert around.
Like in your town?
On waivers.
Oh.
I've seen him around. I don't think he would be at this point in the week, knowing that he's coming back, but we're looking for pretty much any starter at this point that can give us something, because we can't take an L, drop the defense.
Yeah. No need to carry that second defense.
Don't carry this, especially the Bills defense. That's
they're
not
okay,
set.
but they're
if it was the 49ers, maybe, but I'm not carrying two defenses. I'm just streaming the rest of the because there's no point. I mean, you got to have a tight end.
Yeah.
And the tight end's going to be more valuable for you long term anyway, heading into the playoffs. You're 11-1. You're going to make the playoffs.
Yep. All right, Ethan, given the presentation here inside of some heavy machinery, what are you giving Zach Havoc here for a score?
This is a good team, man.
It is a pretty good team, as long as he gets a damn tight end.
Yeah, it's a good team. There's some questions about the team, mostly just the tight end position, though. So I'm going solid A. I mean, I appreciate he's a hardworking dude. You can tell by how dirty that sweatshirt is.
Or is it like a camo colored?
No, that's a dirty sweatshirt, bro. That's a dirty sweatshirt.
That's a man who's been working.
This guy's working hard. We appreciate hard workers around here at Headliner Nation. We appreciate this.
All right, so you gave him an A?
I'm giving him an A. I mean, it's a good team.
Zach, as long as you promise to drop that second defense and go pick up a tight end for this week, so you probably won't lose, then I will go ahead. I'm going to give him an A as well, Ethan. I love the presentation. Like I said, you guys may not even be able to read his handwriting. It may be too small on a phone to read it, but I could not include Zach and show us your teams here this week. But Ethan, week 14 is almost over, which means we're about to head into the fantasy playoffs. I think the next time we do some show us your teams, we're looking at some championship rosters that are going for some titles here this season.
That's right. That's right.
Awesome.
Championship week or afterwards.
Yeah, right around there. We'll do the next edition here of Show Us Your Teams. If you like it, be sure to let us know down in the comment section. And then always hit the like button if you haven't already. But for myself and the doc, show us your teams for week 14. It's always a good time getting together with the doc and doing some Show Us Your Teams. We'll do it again here in a couple weeks. A lot of people always looking forward to that segment, but the show isn't over yet. Now it's time to throw it over to Mac for some Friday Flyers.
Headliner Nation, what it do? It's your boy Big Mac. I'm back again with the week 14 edition of the Friday Flyers. So listen, we all know what this is all about, right? It's about Flyers. It's about people that you can stash away and put on your bench if you have the availability. So look, without further ado, let's get into it. All right, first up, I want to talk about Harrison Bryant, the tight end for the Cleveland Browns. So Harrison Bryant, this past week, he secured all of his 5 targets for about 50 yards against the Rams. So we're starting to see a little rapport develop between him and newly acquired starting quarterback Joe Flacco. There's really not a lot of weapons to go around, pass catching weapons outside of Amari, and Elijah Moore has been playing well. But Harrison Bryant, for whatever reason, seems to be one of Flacco's favorite targets right now. Bryant now has found the end zone in each of the last 2 weeks and 3 times on 10 of his catches this season. So his numbers are starting to, project upward. And again, going forward, the playoffs are almost here. Some people might be in need of a tight end fill-in. So Harrison Bryant could be one of those guys that you could possibly plug and play in that position. All right, next up, the guy I want to talk about is John Mechie, wide receiver from the Houston Texans. So listen, on this channel, we always talk about targeting, high volume offenses, and those particular pieces in that offense are fantasy viable. Well, this is another one of those offenses. With Tank Dell on the shelf, Stroud will look to distribute those vacated targets to other pass catching weapons, and Mechie could be a recipient of that. Mechie has seemed to have an increase in opportunity, and he's only slightly under wide receiver number 3, Bobby Trees, as far as in routes run. So he's starting to trend upward. John Mechie, in my opinion, has the most upside outside of Nico and, of course, the aforementioned Tank Dell. But again, with Tank being out, Mechie could come in and see some of those vacated targets. And I think going forward with his high ceiling, he could be one of those surprises that you can, like I said, plug and play as a wide receiver 2 or wide receiver 3 on your squad. Next up, I want to talk about another wide receiver, Dontavian Wicks from the Green Bay Packers. So with Green Bay's receiving core being a little banged up right now, Love is going to continue to get others involved, and Wicks looks to be one of those guys. He caught 3 or 4 targets for 43 yards last week with the win over the Chiefs, which is very surprising, a very surprising performance for the whole team, actually. But Wicks has his 4th consecutive game with 3+ catches. He has a 68% success over man coverage. So if Christian Watson potentially can't play anything like that, he could fill in that type of role, you know, on those post routes, the 9s where you stretch the field. He's a 50-50 ball type guy. So he's one of those that, again, if Watson does miss some time going forward, or even if he doesn't, Wicks might be one of those guys that can come in and fill in behind Reed and also Romeo Doubs. So if Dontavian Wicks is out there, he'd be worth a pickup. All right, and last but not least, I want to talk about a guy that, again, this is truly a flyer because the dude doesn't even have a team right now. However, if and when he does get picked up, you don't want to have to fight the waiver wire to try to get him, because he could potentially, I don't like to use the term league winner, but he could be one of those guys that could fill in a particular position and be fantasy viable. And I'm talking about Zach Ertz. All right, so listen, it's been a lot of speculation, a lot of rumors. 2 teams in particular. One, which of course makes sense, the Philadelphia Eagles, you know, with Goddard being hurt and stuff like that. It makes perfect sense for him to go there. The other team is the Baltimore Ravens. It's been talk and speculation that they have interest in picking up Zach Ertz. So if he gets with either one of those teams, with the way their offenses run, the pat and the quarterback, you know, at the helm for both of those teams, Zach Ertz could be a very, very big piece going forward for one of those teams and fantasy viable. So I would suggest, if you have availability, scoop him up, stash him away. And like I said, hopefully he'll get picked up, and it could be one of those weapons that you can have going into the fantasy playoffs. All right, guys, listen, that's it for the Friday Flyers for week 14. Listen, I know the playoffs are coming. Good luck to all y'all that, you know, made it, or it looks like they're gonna make it. And to the ones that didn't, don't worry about it. You got next year. We're going to be here all off season as well. We're going to continue to bring you more and lustrous content. So we got you. But until then, I want everybody to be safe, be blessed, and be champions. Peace.
All right, that's going to do the Tailgate Show here for Week 14 Fantasy Football. If you enjoyed it, do me a favor, hit the like button, and maybe you're still new here. Maybe you just found us. No idea how that's possible, but consider subscribing if you haven't already. When the fantasy football season stops, our content continues, and we got some great things coming up in 2024 that you do not want to miss out on. But I'm going to go ahead and get out of here for the day. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and then most importantly, do your part to make the world a better place.